Hey developers, welcome back to another video of Developer's Guide. This is the second video of the series Introduction to Flutter. In this video, we're going to learn about Dart. Dart is a very simple programming language. So let us begin. Okay, so I'm already assuming that you have experience with one or many object-oriented programming languages such as Java or C++. And if you have that experience, it's going to be really easy for you to learn. So first, let us begin with some loops. Okay, so as you can see, this is a basic program structure for Dart. As you can see, void main, just like in Java, main function is required, but here you does not require to make a class. Class is not necessary. Okay, so here is the main function, and you can see this is the for loop. For here we can see initialization. Initialization is giving the initial value to a variable, and then condition checking, and then updation. So let us try and run it. What is code gonna do? It's gonna print hello 5 times. Okay, so as you can see, it prints hello 5 times. Okay, so let's just remove this for loop, and let's just go ahead and print hello once. Okay, so what print command does is it just print something on the console. Okay, so now let's learn something more about variables. Okay, so here we get static variables. Like if we give a variable one type, then we cannot change it. For example, if we give int age is equal to 30 and then print the age, then the value of age would be printed, and as you can see, it's 30. Okay, now let's try and print some string values. Now let's run it. As you can see, my name is printed here. Then if we try and change this name to now an integer variable, then an error will be generated. Okay, value of int can't be assigned to string. Okay, now let's go ahead and try boolean variable. Let's try, it will print false. Okay, false. Now I'm gonna show you how to work with dynamic variables. Okay, dynamic, let's say dynamic name is equal to, okay, so when we run it, we can see my name would be, when we run it, we'll see my name would be printed here. And now the biggest advantage of dynamic variables are that after declaring it, you can change data type. Like first we give string, now we are giving integer, and once we run it, it will print 30. Okay, now as you can see, 30 is printed. Now let's go ahead and let's try out one more feature that is known as list. Okay, let's give list name. List is given with the square brackets, and now let's just print, let's give it, now just print names. Now just run it. Now let me show you some function like names dot add. Welcome developers, hello. And now if we can, there's a function remove. Okay, and let's remove welcome. So you can see welcome is removed. Okay, so currently this is a dynamic list. So if we add names dot add, like integer value, then also it will be added. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, as you can see, it's added here. What we're gonna do is we are going to create only a specific kind of list. So for creating a static list, basically a list which only has one type of value, you can give an angle bracket. So let's give it a int type, and when we give it a int type, you can see we get errors, so we're gonna remove this. Now we cannot add any string here, it will generate an error. So you can say 10 20 10 20 30, and then 10 is removed, and then 30. Okay, so we are adding 32 times, 20 30 30. Okay, so now let's just get ahead with functions. Okay, so what are functions? Function is a set of function is our set of codes that are defined to do specific kind of task. As you can see, this void main is a function. Okay, this void is the return type, and here inside this bracket we give list of arguments, means whatever arguments we want to pass to this function. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new function. Let's create a function that will return int sum. Okay, it will return sum, and it will take two variables, int a and int b. Okay, and now let's return a plus b. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new variable int c, and we're gonna call the function sum and pass two numbers 10 and 20, let's say. And when we print c, it's gonna print the sum of those two numbers. So as you can see, 30 is printed on the screen. Okay, now let me tell you something that is arrow function. If you have only a single line of code inside your function, then you can do that by using an arrow function instead of creating all these brackets, and you just do it in a single line and make an arrow like this, and then also it's gonna run. Sorry, I completely forgot, we do not use return keyword. I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, because arrow function already returns. So you can see this completely does our work. Now let's learn something about classes. Okay, so let's create a keyword class. Class is created using a keyword class, and let's create a class book. Okay, generally it's a naming convention to name first letter of the class with capital. Okay, now let's create two variables. These are like properties. Okay, so let's create a string name, that is book name, and then string ISBN. Okay, these are the two functions that we're going to call. And then let's create a constructor. What is a constructor? Constructor is a function that has the same name as that of class. Okay, and what does constructor do? Constructor constructor is generally used to initialize the variables, these instance variable or the properties. Okay, so let's just do this and call this dot name. Now what is this? This dot name is, it's referring to the global variable. What is global variable? The instance variable, this variable. This name is global name, this name is local name. So this dot name is referring global name is equal to name, and this dot ISBN is equal to ISBN. Let's create a function, and let's give it a void print details. What this function does is it prints everything, like it prints first name. This is pretty much what a function does. Now let us instantiate it. So what is instantiating? Instantiating is like in void main we'll call our class. So for that we have to do book1 is equal to book. Now we have to pass some same variables as we have given in this bracket. Okay, so what is the book name? Harry Potter, and let us give a simple ISBN number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, this is just a random dummy number. So now let me print book1 dot print details. We can see our book details are printed. Now if we create one more book like this, Harry Potter, reach that word. Now let us create a subclass, like we'll inherit this book class. Let us do this. Let us create a class author. What we want to do is, like, if we want to unpublish any book, so we don't want to give unpublishing permission to every person. Only the author can unpublish it. So let's do class author. It extends book. Now what this it shows that your superclass has two constructors with two variables, and subclass doesn't have it. So let's create two variables, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna call super, okay, and then pass this name and ISBN. Okay, now it's done. Now let's create a function void unpublish. Now let me just create a new author. Let us call jk.unpublish. Okay, and but if you see, like let us first run this example. So it will print Harry Potter ISBN registered for it, and then Harry Potter book unpublished. Okay, let us give us a slight space here, and now we can see if we want to, like say book 2 dot unpublished, then you can see we cannot call this function. There is no autocomplete suggestion because we cannot use this function. Now when we try to call it, then we can see it's not defined for this. Okay, so only the author can call unpublished function, but author can also call jk dot let's say print detail. Okay, because this function is accessible for him. Sorry guys, I forgot the semicolon. Okay, let's try and run it. So alright guys, that's all the basic for Dart, and I hope you got it very easily. And if there was some problem, you can just tell me in the comment section, and we'll learn more about Dart as we go on with Flutter. These are the things that I thought would be necessary for you to know, and your concepts would just get revised before starting Flutter. So in next video we'll start with Flutter. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.